everyone, how's it going? Name is XV and welcome to a game called Apex Legends. Now, this is a new game that just came out recently, a few weeks ago. So essentially, this is a Battle Royale game, but it sort of mixes the hero shooter genre into it. So it's like mixing PUBG with Overwatch. Although my friend HBar says that's more like mixing PUBG with Blackout from Black Ops 4. But essentially, this is a Battle Royale game where you split into teams of 3. There's a total of 60 players, which means 20 different trios. And you're all battling to become on top, but I'm pretty sure you already knew that. However, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how to play, so that way you don't go in blind when you first play this game. Now, this is my first win that I ever got, which I actually got earlier today. And it was pretty interesting for my first match that I actually won. So over here you can see that I'm preparing the drop, and I'm going to go ahead and give you some crucial information that you're going to need for later. First off, we have the map, which is also known as Kings Canyon. So here's the entire layout of the map. It's split into various different hot zones, and among those hot zones you'll also find respawn beacons. I'll get to more on those later, but the main things that you're going to want to know from here is that, like any other Battle Royale game, your shell is going to be traveling from a random direction, and you're going to need to pick where to land. However, the dropping procedures are slightly different. Each player has a jump master, which is indicated by this image down here in the bottom left with a 1 on top of it. And that basically is the person that controls the entire squad, which means that while you can influence the jump master, he's the one that has the final say, unless you want to split off and jump somewhere else, but that's your decision. So, moving on from here, eventually, one of the players was the Jump Master, but I believe that I got swapped to Jump Master at some point. Maybe not, I don't remember. But the Jump Master could give the privileges to other players.
About this area.
And like any other Battle Royale game, you can point out where you want to go. Now, you jetpack down into the map, obviously skydiving, and like other PUBG, I guess, you actually can see how close you are to the ground. Now, an easy way to jump to places is to jump a little bit downwards, and then glide, and then wait until you lose speed, then pick up speed again by going down more. Now, I immediately went ahead and chose this area, the Bridge Valley, because we were unable to go ahead and get any good points, and I didn't have my mic on, so I wasn't able to speak to anyone, but then again, the speaking is pretty garbage in the game. Now, something else I need to explain now is the ping system. Basically, on PlayStation, you can press R1 on anything. And I mean anything. Literally, you can just point at anything you want and then ping it. You will immediately ping whatever you're looking at. Now, you can ping all sorts of things, from these line rails at the top, which allow you to zip line areas, to certain locations, to armor and items and weapons, ammo, even enemies as well. Although it doesn't actually mark enemies, you can just show where they are. And those are gunshots, which are indicating that combat is on the way. So, another thing I should quickly go over is movement. You move extremely fast in this game, so it's a lot harder to keep targets on everyone. If you're moving around quickly and unpredictably, it's kind of hard to keep an eye out on you. The other thing is that you can slide around areas, and if you're sliding down a hill, you'll go extremely fast, and you'll often carry that momentum whenever you're doing anything involving movement, and then you transition to a slide. You'll be carrying that momentum with you. Now, as I go up here, there's these supply bin things, which are these little circular crates. Don't miss them. They will hold potential loot in them, and they can hold things like weapons, ammo, healing items, all sorts of stuff. It really depends. So, aside from that, as you can see, I'm pinging ammo again. People can actually call dibs on those items. As you can see, Bangalore just called dibs on it by pinging the item I just pinged. That way, everyone will know that she needs that item. Now, I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead forward into the match when things start getting interesting and when I can explain some more stuff. So, over here that I'm pulling up, this is the ping window. If you hold R1, you can choose from various types of pings. This allows you to choose things like when you're defending areas, spying on them, going to a specific area on your own, looting certain areas, or attacking places. And it's also a quick way to locate other areas that you want the team to travel to if you see any activity that's in the area, or to just mark an enemy. But you can just do that by double tapping anyway.
Going to explore here.
So I just used the go here ping to go ahead and say that I'm hanging there. However, in order to use the one that I specifically used, I had to use the ping wheel, because there's two types of travel pings. There's one for everyone and one for you specifically. So, over here on the right was a respawn beacon. I didn't go over this that much, but I'll go ahead and quickly explain what that is. If your teammates die, you can resurrect them. And I mean if they actually die. Like, they get past the point of resurrecting and reviving, just take their beacon, I mean, their banner, I guess. That's what it's actually called. So you could just go ahead and take their banner if they die, bring it to the respawn beacon, and then wait a little bit and they'll come back. They won't have their old gear, so they'll have to scavenge like everyone else. So if your teammates die, do not give up hope on them. But you only have 90 seconds to pick up their banner, so just make sure you do it quickly. Now here's a tip that everyone seems to overlook. While traveling around, you'll see these weather balloon things. If you zipline up to them, you'll actually be able to re-skydive from that position. And they come in handy when you're trying to travel areas quickly. I only just recently found this out, but it's a tip not many people know. So I suggest you use it the best that you can. So with that completed, I'm going to just go ahead and jump down here and move onwards to the river once again. There are more bins here, and there are not really many enemies as of right now. So as far as I didn't know back then, I was going to be fine. Now just like every other Battle Royale game, there's going to be a circle. In this game, it's called the ring. So if you're not in the ring by the time that fish is closing, you're going to be taking damage periodically. So if you hear it coming in on you, you best hurry up. Also, something else that you should know is that, unlike PUBG, you can actually use healing items to heal all the way. The syringes, aka the bandages of this game, will heal you fully if you have enough of them. So don't overlook them completely, even though you might want a medkit to heal up fully. I probably forgot to go over healing items, but you got health and shields. Now, shields don't work like they do in Fortnite. You actually need to go ahead and pick up batteries in order to do so. And this brings up another important point. If you see a helmet on the ground and pick it up and you notice that it doesn't give you armor, that's because the helmets aren't made to give you armor. They're made to reduce headshot damage. So don't mistake picking up a helmet as, oh, this is going to give me armor. It's not going to do so. You only will get armor if you pick up actual body armor. So make sure you look out for those chest plates, because those are your only way to get armor. And speaking of which, I should go over the rarity tiers. You might have noticed that there are items that are gray and items that are in other various colors. The rain level is that armor will go from, well, I guess all utility, will go from common to a max of legendary. The order is common is gray, rare is blue, epic is purple, and legendary is gold. There's no uncommon in this game. Rare is a level 2, epic is going to be a level 3, and legendaries will always be level 4. Except they work exactly like epics, but they give off little bonuses. So any common item will give you about half the benefit. If you find a body shield, you'll get 50 shields. And if you find a helmet, it will reduce 30% damage. Because only a epic or legendary will take off 50% damage. So here's another nifty tip the game doesn't give you. You can actually hold on to items and ledge grab them. If you stop moving up as you're climbing up an item, you will see that you will grab the ledge and you can look over it. This can be helpful so you can check over areas without giving yourself away. And being able to do that and get on this top position, I found bad guys. So here's the first actual conflict that we had in the game. Now, I'm running a Peacekeeper and an Assault Rifle in this, so it's kind of easy to go ahead and keep on top of areas, but I also want to be looking out for openings that I can shoot people through. You can attack through these vent areas, as I was able to get an arc star down here and damage an enemy. See, that's a 75 damage hit marker. I tried to attack them, but I couldn't actually get a good angle on them. And since they were coming after my teammates, I decided to jump in on them. You can slide while battling, and you can aim while sliding. So I suggest you do that to make yourself a harder target. But make sure you have enough space. If you get stopped in the middle, that's not going to help you. Now, during this, we actually got flanked by the last member, and I was barely able to catch onto it. But just barely. So while this shielding happened, got attacked and flanked. She shot me through the shield. You're supposed to actually get past the shields in order to get the kills and things of that nature, because you can't shoot from inside or outside the shield. Luckily, we took that fight and we were able to move on. You may notice that some of the ammo sections are glowing in certain colors and others aren't. That's because it will always show the highest tier item that the character has. So if you see something gold, it means that that person has the highest tier item, or a super high tier item, like this digital threat thing for shotguns. And conveniently for me, I was holding a shotgun.
Got a feeling someone's been here.
So during the absolute insanity that is during this game, and we hit the final circles with only a few squads left, we end up into combat outside one of the gates. Now, my bad aim kicks in a little bit, and it's hard for me to keep track with the ARs and things of that nature. I missed one of my frags and sort of ruined things a bit. Everyone is using their abilities because all the heroes have abilities. I forgot to mention that. I have the ability to set up teleporters and warp since I'm using Raid, and she has the ability to teleport and warp. But I don't use it that much during the game since I don't have much of a use for it at the time. So I'm somehow able to get the shield battery off and fill all my heals, only to get shot at in 5 seconds. And then I go ahead and help take down the rest of the enemies. I don't actually get a kill yet, because I don't get a kill till the end of the game. You'll see how soon. But I did manage to get some damage done.
Reloading.
So with all of that insanity going on, we barely survived that. We're able to move onward. All the gunshots are indicating that combat's going on elsewhere in the area, so it's kind of easy to keep track of everything. One of our teammates goes down, I go after them to save them, and it appears my teammates already got them.
Only one squad left. It's gonna get loud.
So here we are, the moment of truth. Only one squad left remains, and it's just me versus them. Well, my entire squad versus them. As we're going through all the loot and everything else we need, I need to go ahead and figure out what I'm going to be doing. Now there's me using my ability that I told you about. Phase does not make you invisible. I need to let you know that right now. It will make you invisible if you're far away, but anyone close to you will see the trail of your face. So you're not fully invisible while you're using this, unless your opponents can't see you.
Looks like we're in the next ring. Good.
Luckily, while you're phasing, you can't take any sort of damage. So around here, I'm scoping out in case there's any sort of enemy, because if there is, we need to shoot them immediately, since they're, you know, the last people in the game. Meanwhile, I'm going ahead and training out ammo and things of that nature with my other teammates, so that way we have everything that we need for battle. Once that's all set up, my entire team decides to go ahead and zip line towards the next area, and then I go ahead and get an awesome vantage point for us to shoot down upon our bad guys.
Round 4, beginning ring countdown.
Might be something good this way.
We're outside the ring. Get ready for a world of hurt.
So, nothing really happened for quite a while. Things went silent as I wasn't able to locate any of my enemies, so I decided to go ahead and scout the area a little bit. My teammates appear to have followed me, but I was initially going to climb up the buildings. Sadly, the buildings do not have enough height for me to actually climb them, and by that I mean they're way too tall for me to actually climb up normally. So I went and used the rocks instead. Now, at this point, I was thinking about setting up a teleport to get my teammates up here so we could actually get some range on everyone. But during all the chaos, I hear an enemy.
Contact with target.
And then let the chaos reign. So I decided to use thermite grenades to cover the area. I was hoping that I was going to be able to either A, flush out the enemy, or B, keep them from escaping. But they were raised characters, so there's a good chance they phased out anyway. And then, as I'm going to explore the area, I find them again. I attacked them earlier, but the glitch cut out a little bit, so I can't actually show that. However, I start lining them up a little bit. I have to eventually go ahead and rush them, so I decide to use my phase ability once again, because that's the only way I can get to my teammates safely without getting busted myself. So I'm finally making my way over there. Everyone's getting eliminated by my team. There's only one guy left, according to the kill feed, which I never checked. One of our teammates goes out, and then I land the glorious game-ending kill. Unfortunately, it appears that the footage is cut out again for some reason. I don't know why it's cutting out randomly. Probably because I was checking my information or I got trophies. But sadly, it's not showing, but I did manage to kill the enemy, and we managed to go ahead and take victory as well. So I'm sorry that the footage decided to cut out, but unfortunately I had no control over it. So here's a slow-mo of the final kill, if you guys can catch it, although it's probably going to cut out again. So I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you're all thinking in the comments, and let me know if you guys want to see any more Apex content. And I will see you all in the next episode. Rip me.